Are we recording?
Oh, the betrayal. How dare you do that to me? I can't believe you.
Well, welcome to the Let Me Know That You Know podcast. I'm Dustin, a.k.a. Mr. Corn Laundry.
I'm Mandy, a.k.a. Truly Mandalee, and I am truly upset. I am upsetty spaghetti.
Well, besides that, how are you?
I'm okay.
How
are you doing?
How was your week?
It was busy.
Yeah.
I'm old now, so there's that.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Kind of a slow news week. I mean, Trisha went off more.
Yeah.
Gabby released...
It dropped episode 1.
Episode nothing.
I'm sorry, episode 0.
I mean, it wasn't anything.
It was just a sad situation, right? Of one person who thought these were friendship actions and another person who thought they were just being nice to kind of get through the day.
Yeah, but it kind of seemed, I don't know, it was upsetting because, like, okay, you felt that way, but then you sat there and tried to gaslight the other person, and we're using it right this time, gaslight the other person into thinking that they're wrong.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the real reason it got dropped last week, this week, whatever, is just because people were hating on Trisha already, so they're like, maybe I can get some redemption.
Yeah, it was stupid. The whole video was stupid. There was nothing. It was just nothing.
It was really, you could clearly see.
It was grasping for the straws.
It was, okay, Mr. Old Man. It was grasping for the straws. But yeah, no, it was truly a case of, I'm just, it very much felt like a conversation. A lot of those things felt like conversations you could have with, like, coworkers you see every day.
Yeah.
Where you're, like, friendly, but not friends. Like, hang out outside of work friends, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I could see where Gabby would go, oh, we're friends.
Yeah.
But if you live in the same, like, area and never hang out, aside from, like, at social gatherings, that's kind of a good indicator.
Yeah.
Especially since they had a mutual friend.
Yeah, but other than that, like, nothing really happened YouTube-wise. Trisha said more things, but it wasn't really...
I mean,
it didn't really add to what we already talked about.
Yeah, it's really the same stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I just kind of hope they let it cool down.
Yeah.
I watched the one they released yesterday.
Yeah.
The video after Ethan did that thing on After Dark.
Uh-huh.
And they basically said, Ethan and Hila are still invited to the wedding, like all that stuff, so...
I don't know if they want to go at that point.
I don't know.
Though.
I know, it's...
That's kind of like... I don't know. I mean, I hope for everyone's sake that they settle it at least to be a family.
Exactly. That's always been my number one concern.
Obviously, Frenemies is never going to come back, and it probably shouldn't.
I was about to say, I don't think it should. I don't think it was good, really, for either of them.
No.
If Ethan was feeling like he needed to walk on eggshells,
yeah,
like in comparison to how he is with his, team and whatever with Trish.
Yeah.
And if Trisha felt like they couldn't establish boundaries.
Yeah.
With Ethan, or maybe they're just not in the state to, like, define those boundaries because they're still learning.
Yeah.
It's just not a good place.
I just hope, like we just said, that at least to be cordial within the family, they settle it offline and
exactly
stop dragging this out.
Yeah.
Like, not just Trisha, and I understand, like, they both feel like they need to clear things up.
Right.
But I just hope that's the end of the offline situation.
Or online.
I mean, online situation.
Yeah. I struggle with it because, I mean, I think people have the right to defend their position and why they feel the way they feel. Yeah. But if it's the same thing over and over again, like, just let it go.
Yeah.
Because it's been kind of the same. Ethan said the same thing. Trish has said the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's really nothing now. It's
nothing
just kind
of time to move on.
The internet needs to know about.
Yeah.
It's something that they need to discuss, but it's not anything the internet needs.
Yeah. But as far as that goes, that's all that really happened.
Mm-hmm.
In Robert Pattinson news, because we always have to bring my bestie up.
Yep. Besties for the resties.
Not really a whole lot of news, because we're not. No one's actually on the set except for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not really gonna know a whole lot of what's actually happening. But people are speculating. Someone, I guess, said that he stormed off the set because him and the director are at odds with each other. But again, I mean, we don't know. Neither one of us knows.
I'm gonna go off speculation here.
And
say I just don't think it's true.
I don't know. Because, I don't know how Matt Reeves is, and I don't know that, like, him and Matt Reeves aren't, like, rubbing each other the right way, but, I mean, once again, like, no, none of us are actually on the set.
Yeah, because, like, I don't know. I feel like
it could just be dumb paparazzi stuff.
Yeah, or just rumors. But rumors to get people to talk about it. It could very well be, but...
Yeah.
I mean...
All I know is... they're filming Batman. That's all I know. And Matt Reeves has something to do with the animated, The Longest Halloween movie that's coming out.
Okay.
I think he wrote it or something. Which is an interesting story, and I kind of hope they adapt that into the live-action movies.
Yeah, here's my thought on our pets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, he doesn't seem to be the person that thinks so highly of themselves that they'll just run off set if their things aren't going his way.
I don't think that would be it if he did, like, run off set.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's a whole... He's done a lot of movies.
Yes.
But it's a whole different ball game with, like, these superhero movies.
But he was in Twilight.
I know, but it seems to be a lot more...
Which was as big as, like, a Marvel movie back in the day.
I know, but it seems to be a lot more stressful situation on these sets.
I think he has a pretty good idea of how to handle stress.
Yeah.
On sets. Because... there were paparazzi always, like, following him and shit with, like, Kristen Stewart and him when there were rumors that they were dating and then they were actually dating and...
Yeah. I mean, all true. None of us actually know what's happening. Mm-hmm. I don't believe he would do it either.
I don't.
But...
I'm going with my gut from the absolutely nothing that I know about him as a person other than what I've seen in the press.
I know my bestie. He wouldn't do that.
He just doesn't seem like that guy, because I still think back to in Twilight, one of the interviews he did, that he almost got fired from Twilight because he kept saying, I don't think Edward would do this. And then somebody had to sit him down and say, because he was still like a very young actor at that point, had to sit him down and say, hey, you're going to get fired. and then he was, yes ma'am, yes sir, whatever you need.
Yeah.
So I feel like, especially with like that moment in his history, I don't really see him being the diva, I guess.
Yeah, probably not. He doesn't strike me as a diva type person anyway.
No. Not the man who took his fan out to his not just fan
his stalker
out to eat and then bored them to death.
Robert Pattinson, take me out to eat. You won't bore me to death. Let's be besties. But yeah, that's all I've really seen. I keep trying to look, and there's not really any actual news.
I feel like you won't get much until it's time.
Yeah. I tried so hard to, like, keep up with him and Willem Dafoe, but they're both, like, knee-deep in their own little filmings that there's just nothing really. Like, all I got from Willem Dafoe is he's filming that Siberia movie, which we already knew.
Mm-hmm. And especially while filming's happening, there's really nothing. They don't do press or anything while that's happening. You won't get anything exciting until it's done or almost done.
Yeah. But speaking of cryptids and Cryptid Watch, Nicolas Cage will be starring in a movie called Pig, where he will be searching for his kidnapped pig. I will be taking
John Wick
no
with pigs?
Further questions at this time. I guess that's what it seems like. He seems like an unhinged John Wick searching for a pig.
So just Nicolas Cage then.
Yeah, just Nicolas Cage.
Just Nicolas Cage things.
We saw that Prime Day show.
Yeah, that was good.
It was
we
really
watched
good.
all 3 episodes.
Yes.
The her one was really good.
Uh-huh.
I'm really worried about Kid Cudi. And then the Billie Eilish one was really good.
Yeah, Kid Cudi, if you need a hug, I'm here.
It was, yeah.
Fly to Texas. Come see me. DM me. I'll give you my address. DM me. Come see me. Come hug me. I'll hug you. I'll give you the hug you need.
The happiest he was in that whole Prime Day show was when he got shot off into space and then his ship malfunctioned and he was about to die.
Yeah. I was like, Kid Cudi is not okay and someone should check on him and I would love to be that someone. I'm here for you.
I'm like...
I mean, for real though, if you need someone who's not a celebrity, I will gladly hug you. Don't laugh at me. Maybe he doesn't trust anyone in Hollywood. Well, wherever he is.
Why is he trusting you? Your random ass.
I don't know. I'm not like a random stalker superfan.
I guess not.
I just saw the episode and went, he needs a hug.
He did need a hug.
Anyways, it was a good show though. It's a good show.
It was very good.
Speaking of musicians and rappers, Travis McCoy came back. I've been wanting him to come back. He came back and released a new single called Spoonful of Cinnamon, and we listened to it, and it was really good.
It was very good. Sad.
Yeah.
But good.
Very sad. But yes, very good. That Prime Day show was weird.
Yeah.
It was like, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, is this an event in, like, Control? Or... Is this a Control DLC?
Because each one had, like, their own little kind of setup.
Yeah.
Of...
It was like, the her one, she's trapped in the past, and Taraji?
Taraji.
Uh-huh. Taraji. Taraji P. Henson. She was like this hotel manager of the past. And she like locks her in there. She locks her in there.
Yeah, at the wrap up of everything. She locked her in.
In like this painting thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then you have the weird Kid Cudi thing where he's going to space talking about finding a new place for Earth. And like Seth Rogen was randomly the mission control.
Yeah, that was odd.
And then Billie Eilish's supernatural thing was that her band
her band just appeared everywhere.
Her band
she was in France.
Appeared everywhere.
Well, the other supernatural thing is that nobody spoke, but they were captioned.
Yeah, no one spoke.
Or spoked, as I just tried to say.
Yes. But they were definitely captioned. They had subtitles that I assume they were all reading. when they were taught. They'd be like,
Yeah.
ah, yes, this is what she said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the Kid Cudi supernatural thing was like, it was a weird... He was singing, and everyone just accepted that he was singing, and he was talking about finding a new home for Earth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I've been fighting all my life on Earth. And I was like, Kid Cudi, you okay?
And then he got launched into space, and his ship, like, blew up or whatever, and then he was just floating there, and nobody could come get him, so it was not great.
I kept expecting Taraji to be a part of all of them, with the weird energy she was bringing in the her thing, but she did not come into the other.
Just for
I was like,
one.
is she gonna rescue Kid Cudi and like lock him in a painting or what?
Yes.
But
I hoped, but no.
That did not happen. The assumption is that Kid Cudi just died in space.
Yep. That's all I got. Because there was no ship to save him.
No.
And now all the children are terrified that are watching it. Because it was broadcast, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
Him going to space.
Such a weird story. Really not a whole lot happened this past week. Besides that, we watched the Prime Day. There was a little bit of YouTube stuff. Travis McCoy came back.
Mm-hmm.
All I really have here is a news story, and I wanted to talk about the old internet that we had when we were younger.
In the olden days, since I'm old now.
I am too, don't worry.
You're older.
I
always remember that.
Wow, fuck you. I will bring up the news story that I discovered recently that was just amazing.
I'm ready, lay it on me.
Okay. This was in the Washington Post, written by Kathy Free.
Mm-hmm.
Linda and Mike Oswald were only a few minutes into road trip from Hayden, Idaho to Everett, Washington, when out of nowhere...
Before you continue, does anyone else, when they hear Idaho, think of the House Bunny and that one girl that was like, she had like the super deep voice or whatever, and then she talks about, I have to go back to Idaho. That's all I can think of. That's the only reason, aside from potatoes, that's the only reason Idaho exists for me.
I think I have to watch that movie more before that comes to mind.
I love that movie so much.
The only thing that comes to mind with that movie is when I get a mahi-mahi. Just the mahi, because I'm not super hungry.
Because I'm not that hungry.
Anyways, when out of nowhere, they said, a car slammed into their SUV. The June 6th collision shattered their back window, and their dog, Tilly, was thrown from the vehicle. Nobody was seriously hurt in the accident, they said. But when Linda Oswald climbed out of the car, she noticed Tilly running as fast as he could across the northern Idaho's Rathdrum Prairie. I tore off after him, but then he soon disappeared and I couldn't find him, said Oswald.
Them 68. Poor little legs are fast.
Yeah. We spent the next 10 hours looking for him, and I was worried I'd never see him again. I was so upset. Tilly's my baby. Oswald and her husband quickly posted lost dog notices all over the Rathdrum area, and wrote on Facebook that Tilly, a 2-year-old border collie and red heeler mix, was missing. Okay, this is... Dozens of people stopped everything they were doing and went out and looked for him. In the middle of the night, people were calling out for him. I was extremely grateful. But after nearly 2 days of searching, I don't know what the fuck where that came from. Searching, there was no sign of Tilly. At night, I couldn't feel him with my feet at the bottom of the bed, and that made me really sad. Anyways, then they find him. On the morning of June 8th, 3 brothers with a farm in Rathdrum noticed something unusual in one of their pastures. A reddish-brown bobtailed dog was racing around herding their sheep. Tilly got thrown from the car, took off, and found a job.
Tilly went, I don't know what to do with my life now. My owners are dead, obviously. I got thrown from a car, so they must be dead. Ignoring the fact that they were chasing after Tilly.
The brothers initially wondered why their Australian Shepherd looked a little different. Their Australian Shepherd went, I'm going to take a break now.
Yeah, literally, Tilly's like, I got this. You just go have a rest.
This fucking dog showed up on these people's farm. Can you imagine? You just wake up one day and like you look over and you see your dog that's supposed to be herding the sheep, and you see another dog herding your sheep, and you're like,
What'd we pay you for?
what the fuck is happening?
We just got a random dog that came in to do your work.
One of the brothers had heard about the accident and like left a comment on the Facebook post that they'd seen our dog herding their fucking sheep. And they're just like, Tilly's on our property right now. The sheep farm off Meyer and Emmanuel. Anyways, a deputy drove by, saw Tilly at the same time that Travis spotted him. So they had to like correct the post and be like, oh, the police have him now. Like, just go get your dog from the police. And then, like, when he came home,
Pardon Windows.
What?
I said pardon Windows.
Pardon Windows?
Yeah, it just went diddly-doo.
Anyways, when Tilly came home, Linda ran out to hug the dog that she was crying for and, like, missed with all her heart. And Tilly was pissed. And he ran past her and went to, like, drink water from the toilet. He was like, I had a dream job. Fuck you. I'm gonna go drink water from the toilet now.
Y'all took my life from me. I made a new life.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? And then you read further into the article to find out that the dog, like, randomly tries to hurt people. And Linda has to explain he's not trying to bite their ankles. He's just trying to hurt them. Because I guess that's just an instinct that border collies have.
I just love that he's like, I've trained my whole life for this job. And you took me away from it.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
That dog is like, I wonder if it heard like the sheep like bleeding in the distance, right? Like,
my time has come.
And it went, oh, and that's why it ran away so fast. It was like, I know what to do.
Oh my god. Can you imagine?
Mom, you have to understand, I know what to do here.
How did he even get on the farm, first of all?
He hopped a fence. He didn't care. He's like, I gotta go.
And he's just sitting there herding them sheep.
Mm-hmm. He's like, you can go on your vacation. I'll be here.
What the fuck?
That dog. Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog? Yeah, I saw that and I couldn't stop laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told you about it and you couldn't stop laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And now I hope that makes all of you laugh.
Right, because what the heck?
Just the thought.
Dogs are wild.
Brings a huge smile to my face that this dog left the scene of an accident to go herd sheep. Someone said on Facebook, and I wish I remembered who it was, but they said this dog literally got yeeted into their dream job.
Literally. I have been nipping at the ankles forever for this.
All I really had on my notes after that was that I wanted to talk about old internet.
Okay.
In general. I was going to say old YouTube, but old internet in general because I just keep thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about old YouTube because I randomly remembered, do y'all remember this YouTuber called Pogo? I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but they were called Pogo. And they would make remixes. This was old YouTube. They would make remixes. Oh, I'm sorry, this was 2011, but still.
I was like...
maybe it was re-uploaded in 2011, because I feel like I remember this before.
Before you, graduated or whatever.
Yeah, like, way before. I remember these videos from, like, middle school, I want to say, so...
But, maybe they just uploaded them to YouTube then.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they re-uploaded it. I don't know.
Right.
But, they were, like, Lord of the Rings remixes. Long before, like, Game Grumps had these remixes and stuff. This was old YouTube. And, like, there was one called Murmurs of Middle-earth that I was just playing for Mandy, and she was like, what the fuck are you listening to?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, oh, and then it's like all the Uruk-hai going, ah, woo, wah! And then it's random Gandalf going, Bilbo, what about Frodo? And it's just like sing-songy voices or whatever, but it's just a remix of the movies with his, like, music playing and whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I don't know. That was a thing I remember being shown.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't, like, a big YouTube guy back in the day. A lot of things, like, Glenn or Addison or Jacob would be like, hey, you should look at this. And I would look at it.
And it was lit.
And it was lit. Like, Glenn was the one who showed me Red versus Blue.
Mm-hmm. I still don't remember how I came across Red versus Blue.
I do. It was Glenn.
Mm-hmm. I remember Tom showed me Leroy Jenkins.
Oh, yeah.
And
Jacob showed me Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah. And Wappa Chang.
Huh? I just remember. Alright, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. For you people who are not privy, which stop making me feel old.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not know Leroy Jenkins, back in the old days, when YouTube was just...
Back in my day.
When YouTube was just starting out, there was a video that someone had uploaded from playing World of Warcraft. And they were all supposed to, like, get together and, like, fight this boss or dungeon or whatever that I guess was, like, just annihilating them. And they had a plan set aside, and their friend Leroy Jenkins was in their party. And the leader was like, alright, here's the plan, we're gonna go, and, like, he interrupts the leader and goes, alright, let's do this. And he goes, Leroy Jenkins! And he rushes in, and the leader is so fucking flabbergasted. They're like, did he just run in? And then they're like, run in, and he's like, stick to the plan, and, like, they tried to stick to the plan, but Leroy's dumbass jumped in to try to fight all these fucking monsters by himself, and he's dying, and then they die because no one stuck to the original plan. And they're like, damn it, Leroy, you fucked it up. And there's just silence for like a second, and he goes, at least I have chicken. And that's the end of the video. And that's what we used to think was humor back then. And it became so big that, like, I think it became a playing card. There's a Leroy Jenkins card out there that's, like, official. I think is it a Magic the Gathering card, or did they just make it like, did they have a WoW?
No, I don't think they ever had a WoW.
I know it became a card for something. But that was a thing. And we had a lot of, like, remixes and random music YouTubes. Like Weeble.
Oh, maybe it's Hearthstone.
Hearthstone?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Do you remember Weeble?
No, I don't. What is that?
It was like a music YouTube thing, kind of like Pogo, but they didn't do remixes. They did... Well, I guess you could call it a remix. It was their own little thing. They would make random catchy songs to be like, look at my horse is amazing.
Oh, I know that one, yeah. Now, do you remember the people who used to auto-tune everything? Like the Bed Intruder song and
what?
Double Rainbow?
No.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
The only thing I know about Double Rainbow
intense.
is that people would say it a lot. I never actually saw the original content.
Oh, it was funny. It was fun. It was really the auto-tune song. I wish I could remember who did all those, but you know the Bed Intruder song.
Do I?
He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching
Oh,
your people up.
yeah. We gonna find you.
We gonna find you.
Homeboy.
Yep.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
And hide your husbands. I won't get into the next line.
But. Oh my god. Do you remember? This wasn't auto-tune, but it was a American Idol person who wanted to... It was his audition.
Oh.
Pants on the ground.
Pants on the ground. Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. Got your hat turned sideways, mouth full of gold. Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. He sold it. I thought he should have been the American Idol.
Oh my god. It was this older man who came in dressed the way he was singing too.
What about William Hung?
William Hung?
She bang. She bang.
I gotta be honest. I don't know. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just know people said William Hung a lot.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the pants on the ground guy was not William Hung.
No.
Yeah, but the she bang was William Hung.
People would sing that, but no one would ever tell me who it was.
Oh, yeah. That was William Hung. Well, you know, it was American Idol, William Hung, not the actual singer.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, it was real weird.
I think we were all figuring out the internet. It was the Wild West. And things just got uploaded to YouTube that made no sense, and we thought it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. And then the meme sites.
The meme sites. Icon has cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
And oh really, and yeah really, and no way, and Yahweh, which were just like the original captionings.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like owls and cats.
I remember.
The Yah really owl,
Mm-hmm.
the oh really owl,
Mm-hmm.
and the Icon has cheeseburger cat.
Yeah, and do you remember the Icon had the cheeseburger, right? One turned into a network where all those little meme pages were connected to. It was the Cheeseburger Network.
Yeah. Oh my god. And we used to have like those Flash game sites.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Flash.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's gone now.
As of January 1st, 2021, or whatever day it was. I don't remember.
I don't remember. But...
And then what else?
Gaia Online, which
never...
I'm sure we talked about on here.
Yeah, I think we did.
Me and Glenn lived on there. And I don't even know what attracted us so much to that website.
I never did like I played RuneScape a little bit, but most of those like MMOs.
Oh my god.
I never played.
All of those like online game sites I was obsessed with. RuneScape, Neopets, Gaia Online, Adventure Quest.
Does anyone remember the N? It was like maybe Teen Nick before Teen Nick was a thing.
What?
But they had a website of this game where you like created an avatar, and it was like it wasn't an MMO. Well, I guess it was kind of an MMO. It was an online game.
Gaia Online kind of thing.
No.
No.
You just kind of walked around and could like chat with other people.
Well, that was Gaia Online.
Oh,
Gaia Online wasn't like RuneScape.
Oh, okay. I don't like I said, I don't know anything about it. But anyway, that was a thing. I want to know if anyone else remembers that website. It was like the N.
I don't
remember
that.
I think they had like Degrassi stuff on there.
I definitely don't remember that.
It was interesting.
I just remember like Gaia Online.
I'm sure, you know, adults were posing as children on there. I'll just say that much. It was one of those kind of like online games, like Second Lifey, but very cartoony.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what Gaia Online was.
Okay.
You got this little like chibi character, and you would like, you could walk around town and stuff, and there were mini games and stuff, and like you could customize your avatar, and sometimes when movies would come out, no matter how like not big the movies were, they would sometimes have like a partnership, and you could get the items or whatever.
Okay.
And you could also pay for the items, but we never paid. We just like did the games to try to earn gold to buy them or whatever.
Yeah.
And they would have these monthly things too that were like special items.
Got you.
But they were always a ridiculous amount of money because they wanted you to pay for them. But Glenn recently, I shouldn't say recently, it was like a month ago or something now. He went back on there. He remembered his account. He went back on there and he was like, I don't understand. Why am I fucking rich on here?
He's gonna roll in and be like, here's 1,000 for your troubles.
Just like...
I don't even know what's money in Gaia.
It's just gold.
No, I mean like what's big money?
Oh, like $1 million. I think it's like 1,000 is like enough to get a kind of cool item. It was like $1 million was to get the really good items and stuff.
Well, how much did he end up with?
I think it was like 60 million or something like that.
See, so Glenn could just walk around and be like, okay, so like 10,000. He could be like, here's some gold for your troubles.
All I know, I'm guessing like he had money, and then for some reason, even though he wasn't logged in, his money just like grew somehow.
Stonks.
Huh?
Stonks.
But that website was funny because I remember they couldn't outright say. It was kind of like when you get a Halloween costume and they can't say what it is. They're just like Plumber Man. Or Ninja Boy, which is what they did for Naruto looking ass. They had the Naruto shoes, which I don't know if you know what those look like.
I don't at all. I was about to ask you, there's Naruto shoes?
It's like a... God, how do I describe this? It's like a flip-flop that goes over your ankle. It covers your ankle. It's like if a sock...
So let me try this. So, you know how the flip-flops connect to the shoe? Does it, like, go around then instead of...
It goes around your ankle. It covers everything from above your ankle down, but your toes are out.
Okay, I get it.
And, like, they had Naruto hair, but they couldn't call it that. They called it something else. I don't know what they called it, but it was like a bunch of... They even had the headband. But it wasn't outright.
As long as they didn't say who they were like, we're good.
I think Gaia Online was kind of like MySpace because you could like do some little coding, except it wasn't really coding. We weren't fucking hackers like we thought we were, and like
I'm in.
Have like Naruto profiles and stuff. You had like MySpace looking profiles. And you could put music on there and everything, and it was a whole thing.
I was just on MySpace.
Well, we were on both. We were nerds. But that was our internet life back in the day.
Yeah, I was just on MySpace. Befriending bands and trying to talk to people that I absolutely should not have. Nothing ever happened to me, very, very luckily, but... You know, stupid teenage kids.
Me and Glenn used to go on like, God, this is embarrassing now, but we used to go on those like role playing threads or whatever, and like pretend to be characters and
like
stuff.
The chat rooms, or
yeah, it was kind of like a chat room thing. You just
like on a message board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And we would be like characters, and I had this character. Like I didn't make the character. They had roles, and I took the role, and it was like a character who had a talking gun.
I love that. I never went that far.
we did it once, but he still references it sometimes.
That's amazing.
He's like, "Do you remember when you had that like character with the talking gun?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Those were different times."
Oh, I love that. I love that for you.
I'm like, what a weird time. And then they like had a thing where you could have a car.
Vroom vroom.
Like first they had the overworld, and then they had an overworld with a car to where you could do street races and stuff. And that was cool. I don't know, Gaia Online was a whole different beast. Reminiscent of the old Neopet days.
And then you had E-Bomb's World, and what was the other one?
I feel like I
Newgrounds.
missed out. I didn't get to do the E-Bombs World.
See, I didn't really go on Newgrounds, but I went on E-Bombs World.
I was all on Newgrounds. I loved the Tankmen cartoons. They were hilarious. It was basically the Newgrounds little mascot, but they had this whole story, and it was like I think they were supposed to be on the same side, but they didn't know that they were on the same side in the same army. They just had slightly different helmets, and they would like try to kill each other, but they were all stupid. So none of them actually killed each other. They might have gotten like some of the grunty ones, but like no one got anyone important.
Right.
And one of them got like a call from his dad, who was like losing his mind. And his dad would like talk to him about like the birds and the bees, and he's like, "I know what sex is. Stop calling me. Can you put Mom on the phone? I want to talk to her about your drinking." It was a really funny cartoon series, and mine and Jacob's favorite was like they were playing paper football against the enemy. You remember paper football? I don't think kids today do that anymore.
Oh, come on. I feel like they have to.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess maybe not. They can just like play Among Us or something if they're sitting across from each other. Never mind.
They probably have it better than we did.
Yeah.
They can play Among Us in school. We had these fucking paper footballs we made. Not nearly as fun as Among Us, but you would make a goalpost with your fingers. You would do the 2 L's. And you were supposed to flick it through the goalpost. Well, they were playing paper football, and like the supposed good side won, and the other team hated it and would get really mad, and they'd be like, "We want a rematch, yeah, a rematch." And the other's like, "I want a pink birthday cake with my face on it, but I'm not gonna get that either." And then they tried to like kill him, and then like the side that won like stabbed the shit out of the other one. He was like, "It looks like you should have used the Pythagorean theorem, bitch," and he killed him.
So whoever wrote that joke went, "I used the Pythagorean theorem outside of school."
Apparently. And that's the only person ever. But yeah, old internet was weird.
It was a weird place.
Sometimes I think about it late at night. I sing like Donna Summers, man. Last chance for romance.
Oh my god.
For love. Remember? That was from the Talladega Nights bloopers.
No, I don't remember.
It was Michael Clark Duncan.
Okay.
It was a blooper. He definitely wasn't a written script. And he was supposed to say, I can't remember what he was supposed to say, but he was like, "Sometimes when it's late at night, I like to sing to myself like Donna Summers. I put on the dress and the high heels and everything, man." He just goes, "Last chance for romance, for love." And somehow they all kept a straight face until he goes, "For love," and everyone loses their shit.
Do you think, the jokes about, people dressing in, opposite gender made it more acceptable as time went on?
Maybe. I mean, who cares, right?
I mean, I agree 100%.
Back then, we were.
But I mean, it kind of normalized it a little bit more to see it in, quote unquote, popular media. Yeah. To go, you don't think of it as, strange. Well, the thing is, in Britain and the UK and all that, it was always accepted. It was always, in their shows and stuff. But in America, back in the day, we were still, leftovers from the olden days where you had a man was a man and a woman was a woman. And, they just were hyper masculine and hyper feminine or whatever. And it's if you showed the slightest of the opposite, right,
they were not accepting of that. And that's good for this new generation.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them for breaking through that. But that's why I just want everyone to understand why certain people might not understand what you're doing. Everyone's trying to understand.
For the most part, yeah.
But it's just a different world now.
Yeah.
We didn't grow up like that.
We
grew up in a world where, like, you did it privately because you were scared you were going to get your ass beat.
Right. And we'll say, like, generations older than us, they might be less understanding because they were forced to live in the standards that, you know.
And I don't understand, like, okay, so I see it, and I'm like, good for you, you can do that without getting harassed as much as we did.
it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
But I think back to, like, emo and like boys wearing skinny jeans and like the swoopy hair and they got harassed for dressing like that, and that's like nothing.
Yeah. And I'm
so
just
it's
like,
just so stupid.
And I'm just like, good for you, you get to do that now.
Right, you can
be free.
You can push that boundary as far as you want, pretty much, and for the most part, you'll have someone there to be on your side.
As long as no one is hurting each other, like
who cares?
Who cares what they do? But I don't understand. My first instinct is not to be like, maybe they don't know, and be the asshole to bully them. Like, maybe they don't know what we went through, so I'll show them what we went through.
Okay, did you enjoy it? Like, don't harass someone.
That's
it's that
why
simple.
I don't understand the older generations.
Right.
It's like, you went through hell, so why are you trying to put these younger people through hell? Mm-hmm. They're just trying to live.
Right.
And I'm very proud of the older generations who are just like, that's my child, and they're unhappy in their own skin, and I'm not gonna stop them from trying to be happy in their skin. Like, you know, my child just told me they want to kill themselves because they're not happy, and I will do everything I can to make them happy. Rather than being like, I'm gonna keep pushing them until they're the way I think they should be.
What good does that ever do?
It doesn't do anyone any good.
Right.
It just makes them resent you and grow older to do what they were going to do before, only now they hate you. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say other than good for y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. Live your life. Be happy. As long as you're not hurting anyone, who cares? This took a weird turn.
Yeah. I just thought about it. You know what I mean? I was just like, usually joking is kind of the segue to normalizing.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just kidding, unless.
That's exactly it. And I'm pretty sure that's why that joke, meme, whatever exists.
Yeah. I think so. But, that's how old we are.
Old as hell.
I did want to talk about, we saw more of E3, which I wish we didn't. It was even more disappointing.
Now again, to be completely fair to the developers or whatever, you know, the game companies.
Yeah.
Last year was kind of a shit show.
Yeah.
So I really don't blame them for going, here is this brand new woo game, because I'm sure they were, for like the first part of it, trying to figure out how to continue development on all that while they're working from home or whatever. Hopefully they were working from home. And then 2, money.
Yeah. Well, I understand all that. What I don't understand is going on stage and not saying that, but instead acting like you're giving us new information that you already gave us.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
Why didn't the Bethesda team come out and be like, you know, last year was hard, but this is what we've got for you. Some of it we've already said, but but we've gotten a little further.
I guess framing could have been a little bit better, like, overall.
Instead, they were like, the head of Xbox came out and was like, be grateful for what we just told you. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm not grateful. That was bullshit. But Nintendo did bring it. They brought it.
And that's the one I didn't see.
Well, all I really saw was like Metroid is making a comeback again, which it looks good. I'm glad.
I saw that I needed to finish Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, there's gonna be a second Breath of the Wild. I know how it ends, so I'm good.
I get overwhelmed with those big games.
Well, it's not. The side quests really don't have a whole lot to do with what.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna not do them.
I know.
That's the issue.
I could tell you what.
We had this discussion. If there's a game within a game, you lost me on the main game. I'm gonna go play the side quest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go be a blacksmith.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna live my life as a blacksmith and never finish the game.
But I saw that Kazuya is going to be in Smash. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I thought I was done buying DLC.
I was about to say, do we have to buy another DLC pack?
Of course we do. It's Kazuya. I get to play as Kazuya and Terry and Ryu and Ken in the same fucking game. Mm-hmm. What more does anyone want?
I don't know.
It's amazing. Science.
Has science gone too far?
Life finds a way.
Apparently in Smash.
Apparently in Smash. But yeah, and then I saw there were some other things, but those were the things that stood out for me for Nintendo. Which the bar was low and Nintendo brought it.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't know. I guess my biggest...
There's Resident Evil Village DLC.
Yeah, there's going to be Resident Evil Village
good.
DLC. Capcom didn't really show a whole lot, but they still weren't like, here's... Well, I will say the only Street Fighter V news they brought was like...
A tournament?
The tournament. I'm like, I don't care.
What is this? Mortal Kombat?
There's always a tournament. There's always going to be a tournament.
You know, because that's a tournament.
I know.
You know?
I know, honey.
No?
I know.
It's funny.
But, like, there was no news for a 6. There was no news for, like, DLC.
And then the other thing was Monster Hunter.
Ugh.
Is it DLC?
No, it's
there was
be
a game.
Monster Hunter Stories.
Okay,
2.
that's it. Yep. I was like, but weren't they doing something with what was the Switch one that came out?
I don't remember.
They were doing something with it. I don't know. I haven't played anything since like before Iceborne. Is that it?
Yeah, but then like what I don't understand is, you know, we saw what we saw at E3, and now I'm rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho on Hulu, so I get a lot of ads and stuff. And I'm seeing ads for things that they didn't show that are, like, much more interesting than what they showed.
I have thoughts as well.
Uh-huh.
And they all involve, why is there no update on Dragon Age 4?
Yeah.
That's all I want.
That's a big thought. Why is there no new news for Dragon Age 4? Why is there no new news for Elder Scrolls 6? All y'all said was Elder Scrolls 6.
It's gonna happen.
That was it.
That's it.
That was all we got. And I'm like, no pictures, no anything. Okay, great. Not even, like, the subtitled name.
Now, to be fair, Dragon Age 4 did give some, like, a little teaser trailer.
Yeah.
I think either earlier this year or at the end of last year, something like that. And then some concept art already. So it's not like they've given us nothing.
Yeah.
But it's never, I'm not going to be happy until the game is out. That's it.
And, like, of course, I understand we had a rough year last year.
I would accept some more concept art.
We had a rough year last year. But just say that. Mm-hmm. Don't say be grateful for what you just got. Just say, hey, this is what we have. We're trying.
No, I will say, Game Pass.
Uh-huh.
Very good investment overall. I mean, they have, I think, majority of the titles they're releasing are going to be Game Pass day one, which is kind of nice because then you can at least try it out before you if you want to go out and buy it.
Yeah.
A good method, because a month is usually, for the average, like, working adult, is not enough to beat a game, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the day and age where games are huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of, like, a, 10-hour game, like Village was. But the replayability seems to be huge, because I keep seeing people replaying it. And you know what? I don't mind. I think I've watched most of them replay.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, the average game, usually not just a few hours.
Yeah. Usually, like, days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got that kind of time.
Exactly. Most people, well, I won't say most people, but a lot of people can only do, like, weekends or whatever.
Yeah. I'm trying to stream more.
Yeah.
Work, like, wiped me out last week. It's probably going to wipe me out this week.
Life wiped me out?
Life is going to wipe me out this week. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of news. And I kind of figured there wasn't going to be, but I didn't expect them to be like,
bring me nothing.
Yeah, bring me nothing.
I wonder, okay, so Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
Nintendo was Japan.
Yes.
Japan, I'm trying to think about how COVID went. I don't think they had as huge or long as an outbreak as, like, the United States has.
Probably not.
But I think there's other studios in Japan, so I guess that really doesn't make sense.
I guess not. But, like, they are stricter with the mask laws. They had masks before all this.
Right. Well, they were, I mean, because most of their big cities, right, are very densely populated.
Yeah.
They've kind of already had that instinct that if you're sick, you put a mask on.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I don't know. I don't know what the whole situation is. I was kind of hoping we'd see more from Sega, because I keep hearing, like, rumors and stuff, but nothing confirmed. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to know more. These other companies said nothing, so come onto the stage. And...
Can we talk about Intellivision?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That was weird. I mean, it's, like, a cool idea, because I had imagined the price point on their little, like, couch co-op console is, probably lower, much lower than, like, any of the other companies' offerings.
What a weird company to come back.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I am kind of excited. I was like, kind of like, why would I ever buy this? But then they were like, we're gonna remaster some of the classic games and make them co-op and, like, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You kind of got me.
Well, part of me just wants to buy it just because it's a new Intellivision
Yeah,
console.
It's so weird. I hope. I think that's what they're banking on.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the humor for, like, the older generation going, all right.
Yeah.
But, no, I think it's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It's more family friendly than some of the other systems.
Truly hope.
Uh-huh.
Sega comes back.
I know.
It's what all of us Sega fans are waiting for.
I'm sure as soon as I texted you, Intellivision released a console, you were like, and then Sega?
And then Sega.
But, with the Switch moving out of just, like, kid-friendly titles,
yeah,
I think it's a smart move.
Yeah.
Because for Nintendo, that was a smart move to not just release kid-friendly things.
Yeah.
But for a company that hasn't released a console in decades... to come back and do it, I think that's a good idea. I think so too. I think that's a good market, like, kind of place to get into, because Nintendo kind of moved out of that spot.
And it's not April, so we know it's real.
Hey, right.
But no, like a big, like, April Fool's kind of thing, but it's real.
It looked really cool. The controller, I'm a little interested in if it'll be. It almost looks like a smartphone.
Oh.
But it has, like. It does have, like, a little button
that
you kind of move around with, but I don't know. It had, like, a touchscreen and then something else, but...
Weird.
And you could, like, let's say you have a friend who has it too. They can bring their controller over, dock it, and then use it on yours without any, like, issue. So nice. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to hear more from Sega.
I know you do.
Baby, come back.
Listen, you're getting games from them still, so maybe
You
live
can
with
blame
that
it all
for a little bit.
on me. I need you. Come back, Sega. Bring back Jet Set Radio.
That's what you really want. Let's just call a spade a spade. You just want Jet Set Radio again.
Well, I want them to come back too.
But mostly the first.
I would like them to bring Jet Set Radio Future back to online stores so I can stream it.
Yeah.
That would be great.
No. I'm sorry. Sega would have said no. Heart.
But, yeah.
I feel like you're the last American Sega fanboy.
I don't know.
I don't either.
There might be some still out there.
You're a rare breed.
I feel like every
I'll say that.
PlayStation fanboys used to be Sega fanboys.
I don't know.
And they're just latching on to something because they hate
They
Nintendo.
want to feel something.
They want to feel something. They still hate Nintendo secretly. They're still seething with hatred. Me with my Switch games and
I was about
my
to say.
3DS games.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, there used to be a webcomic about that called Fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. I liked the webcomic a lot. I don't know what happened to it, but they were basically like one of them was a Nintendo fan, the other was a PlayStation fan.
I feel like you showed me this.
And they were like hardcore fans or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But the PlayStation fan used to be like a hardcore Sega fan. And
Did he have all his stuff like shoved in a closet and it just kind of like started spilling out one day and he was like, "Don't look at that."
No, they were talking about like old trauma or something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. And then he like lifted up his PlayStation 2 shirt and there was a Dreamcast shirt underneath. But anyways, it was a different time. Speaking of the older generations of consoles, you ever randomly think about like the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube era?
I mean, not. Here's what I'll say. No, but I do think about the GameCube.
I think about it all the time because I feel like they tried new things more.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of stopped.
Eternal Darkness.
Oh my god.
Chef's kiss of a game.
Beautiful game. And then like, I don't know, they still had cartoony games on all the consoles, not just Nintendo. And now everyone's got to have hyper-realistic adult games. I don't know. I'm old. I'm griping. I'm yelling at the clouds.
Old man waves cane at clouds. Stop changing!
Just
No,
thoughts.
you know, because I feel like okay, here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
The consoles went to AAA developers, pretty
Yes.
much. And the indie developers are like the more, you know, not whatever AAA. I don't know how the A's rating works.
Yeah.
But the lower, you know, the under the AAA people. Can you tell I don't know anything about sports because I know that has something to do with sports. Don't understand. The indie devs, we'll say.
Yeah.
Went to like Steam.
Yeah.
And like more online, you know, distributors.
Yeah.
Now, is it changing a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's much more indie developers coming to Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, all of them. But it's still not like Steam where you can just make a game and go, here you go. Or like...
Well, that's the sad thing is...
Stitch.io or whatever.
What?
There's that, like, even lower, like, it's pretty much free games.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Is
yeah.
it
I think that's what it's
Stitch.io?
called. But what I want to say is the indie developers are fucking killing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing it. And that's the sad thing is they're not getting the attention they deserve because everyone's got their eyes on like the PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch,
Mm-hmm.
the Nintendo, what they're doing. And it's like pay attention to these indie devs because they're making some really amazing games.
And a lot of times, once like their game catches on or whatever, they're going to be the next ones that come up through, you know, the console.
Like Shovel Knight and Super Meat Boy. Those became huge.
Right. And they did get distributed on the consoles and everything. So if you're kind of aware of the indie scene, you might catch a gem early.
Yeah.
And you know, find your next favorite game.
I follow a Twitter account. I think it's called like Horror Game Aesthetics or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they had a thread where they said, "Hey, horror indie devs, show me what you're working on." Mm-hmm. And the thread is incredible. I was like, I hope all of these get finished because sometimes shit happens and they don't get finished. But like, all of these games are super innovative and like interesting and much better than a lot of the AAA titles. So it's just like, I don't know, keep an eye on the indie games because they deserve more love and they're amazing.
And when you find one you love, like, shout it from the rooftops because I know, like, they'd obviously appreciate the support.
Yeah. But yeah, indie games are killing it. I wish
that's
bigger
where
consoles
you're gonna
would take more risks.
Yeah, but that's where you're gonna find the kind of risky, quote unquote risky.
Well, like Team Reptile is the one that's making the next Jet Set Radio. They're making a game called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk or something like that. Yeah,
and that was so funny because I saw the trailer for it and I was like, "Is this a new Jet Set Radio game?" And I was like about to text you. I'm like, "I think they're making a new Jet Set Radio game," and then it was something totally different. And I went, "I don't know if this is the same."
It literally looks the same.
It does. So I was like, well, that's good. You'll at least be happy that there's something similar you can play.
I've got it pulled up right now, and this is literally the opening area.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. Anyways. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm watching the trailer right now, and it's just like, I'm getting what I want.
Congrats.
This Team Reptile really went, fuck it, we'll do it.
Yeah, and I think that's literally what they said.
I'm retweeting it now. Anyways. Indie dev people are amazing, and I love you all, and I hope that some of you are listening to this. I love you. If no one told you today, I love you.
Shout out to your families.
Shout out to your family. But yes. That's all I really have.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do a couple shout outs.
Go for it.
Shout out to Limited Run Games, a company that brings physical copies to digital games. So like, if it's like Scott Pilgrim, the game, which they did.
And I missed.
So
sad.
Yeah.
Cute.
Scott Pilgrim, the game, they brought like PS4 discs and Xbox One discs for them, and
you could get the soundtrack with it, which if you ever listen to the soundtrack of the Scott Pilgrim game, fire.
Yeah. It's so good. Like, the company is so awesome. They like work with the developers and stuff, and they like bring physical copies for a limited time, which is why it's called Limited Run Games. And they'll have like special editions which have like these amazing things with them. Like the Scott Pilgrim game had like tickets to the Clash of Demon Heads concert, drumsticks signed by Todd Ingram, and like a skateboard magazine thing, I think, with Lucas Lee. And like just stuff like that. They'll have like things that a true fan of the game would love. And like they're just now doing one for, like, sometimes they bring old games back into like new consoles and stuff, which they're doing. Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol. They're re-releasing that with PS4, Xbox One, and Switch versions. I want it so bad. It's like $100 though for the special edition, But it's got like a replica of the squirt gun. It's got like the 3D glasses. It's got the soundtrack, both games, steelbook posters, all kinds of cool stuff with it. I want it so bad. And I'll shout out Team Reptile. Thank you so much for making Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I can't wait for it to come out. Amazing.
You gonna play it like you played Jet Set Radio? I just know it.
I'm gonna play it so hard.
Who do I need to beg for another SSX Tricky specifically?
Them. I think they could do it.
Okay. Can you do that too for me, please? Nobody's making that game for me anymore.
No.
The soundtrack was fire. The gameplay was fire.
Amazing.
And I don't want to bust out my GameCube to play it again.
Yeah. That's all I really had for shout-outs, I think. How about you? Got anything else?
I'm thinking.
Thinking. I've been thinking.
I've been thinking. Let me look at my notes. I had a very slow week.
Yeah,
my face was in work all week.
Really not a whole lot happened.
No.
Entertainment tonight.
I've been watching a YouTuber
Uh-huh.
that speaks a lot about intuitive eating.
Oh, yeah?
Which, you know, very much goes along with, like, the health at every size movement.
Yeah.
But just kind of talks about basically tuning into your body more to figure out when you're hungry, when you're not hungry, whatever.
Yeah.
When you're emotional eating, when you're not, you know, when you're doing whatever. Her name is Colleen Christensen. She's a registered dietitian. So it was nice to see someone on YouTube spewing out facts that had some experience to go along with it. So she's good.
Yeah.
I liked her. That's my shout out.
That's a shout out.
Yep.
Shout out to your family.
Shout out to your family.
Shout out to my family.
Shout out to your family.
Shout out to everyone listening. We love you.
We love you so much.
I think that's it.
That's all she wrote.
Thank you guys.
No murder this week, so she didn't write a murder.
She didn't write a murder?
She didn't write a murder.
Thank God.
I know.
I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with murders being written.
I'm old. Okay. Anyway.
Me too.
Okay. Heart hands.
Heart hands.
Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.